Hello you guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I truly appreciate you guys taking out the time to watch today's video. As you can see by today's title, we're talking about everybody's favorite topic, money. All right. As you can see by today's video, I will be giving you guys my updated 2025 cost of living based off of monthly cost expenses living in Arizona. Yeah, I know I gave you guys I made this video I think a year ago, either a year and a half ago, a year ago. I will link that video up here and up here somewhere. I'll link the video up somewhere and go ahead and watch that if you haven't. Obviously, we were living at a different apartment in a different area, so I also mentioned which area we were living in that video, so you can go back and reference that after watching this video. So make sure you stay to finish this first and then you can go watch that. In the last video, in that video that I did, that was the first one, we were living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. It was about 700 square footage apartment. So a lot of our housing expense is relative to that. Now, in this video, somebody's expense went up. Not too crazy. We expected it. We planned for it. We wanted what we want now. And yeah, I wanted to share with you guys. We're in a different area. So our last video, we lived North Phoenix, and now we live more South Phoenix. Yeah. We live about 12 minutes from downtown, not that far. And we are very close to the airport. We're a lot closer to everything. Before we were way up north. Now we're like close central of literally everything, and we love it. We wanted that, and we wanted a bigger space, a little bit of space, a little bit. So we moved from a 1-bedroom apartment. We moved to a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I think it's almost 2,000 square feet, to be honest. I didn't go to check, but I think it's about 2,000 and some change square footage. So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's a much more bigger space. We wanted a much more bigger space. You guys, I'll tell you guys that when we lived in a 1-bedroom, before we moved to the 1-bedroom, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and we downsized because, to be honest, we honestly needed to downsize. We didn't need to have that 2-bedroom at that time, and a lot of things was going on for us in our lives, and we just wanted to cut down some expenses. We wanted to manage a few other things that were a priority for us. Then we handled our business and we kept pushing. So I'm gonna go ahead, let's go ahead and get into this, new budget, give you all the details. I put all of it in here just so I can, easily get to it. A lot of the budget or expenses that I will be mentioning here are literally the exact same with the last one, because, for example, phone bill is the same, right? Obviously the rent, utilities has changed because we're in a different area, different apartment, and things like gas expenses change for our cars. Yeah, so a few things have changed, so I'll go ahead and update you guys, and we're gonna get right into the monthly expenses. All right, last video I went into so many details, meaning like the line item of, you know what, I'ma just roll up the expense for you guys. All right, our 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. So this is it was a new construction. We're the first people that moved into it. They had a few specials, negotiated a few couple things, and we got our 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for $1,850. Yeah, not bad for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in the area, because a lot of it goes for a lot higher. And we wanted this place, yes, at the time it was going to be a bit of a further commute for us. However, we wanted to be closer central of everything else, so which worked out for us. So our current rent Williams would do us the honor and put all the expenses, you know, on my screen as I talk about them. So rent, $18.50. With our rent, we are required to get it's cable, valet, trash, and Wi-Fi, internet. Yes, those three are required to get it. So, and that is $185. Actually, I don't mind it at all. It's actually good. However, in the summer, I don't know, the internet is just a little bit fluctuating. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I don't mind it at all. So 1,850 rent, 185 per month is our cable package, valet cable and Wi-Fi internet package. So what does that come up to? All right, I had to go get my calculator because we're gonna do it together. So you guys, so 1850 plus 185, that puts us at $2,035. Now, there are a couple extra utilities that rolls up into that. So we have, because it's an apartment complex, you have like taxes that goes into that. You have, you know, the general area Wi-Fi, general area trash, you know, trash pickup, electricity, water, and things like that. All that to say, all that expense rolls up to about $2,200 every month. So $2,200 is about our rent after taxes and general utilities are applied, $2,200. And averagely, our utility bill, our electric bill that gets charged to our unit that we pay every month is usually right around $120 averaging. So 120, so about 2,200 plus 120, that will give you 2,200 plus 120, that gives you about $2,320. So rent, utilities, and the con service, you know, charges all roll up to about $2,320. Now we're gonna move on to the other monthly expense that, you know, that we get charged for, that we pay for. So after rent, we have auto insurance. Now we are a household of 2 cars. I missed the day we were using 1 car, but obviously it didn't make sense. So we are a household of 2 cars. We have a Ford Escape, which that car's gotta go. That car's cost me a lot of money, but the car's paid off, thank God. So the Ford Escape's paid off. That was the car that I was using in my last video, which we didn't include the expense because it was just, we had paid off the car, so there was no car note. However, for insurance, for both cars, auto insurance comes up to about $300 a month for both vehicles. We have a Nissan Sentra and a Ford Escape. So $300 plus $2,320 is, oh gosh, plus $300, it comes up to about $2,620. Why am I even doing all that? We can just say all the total at the end of this video. All right, after auto insurance, that's $300. We have utilities, which I mentioned in the video already, averaging about $120. Now we have car note. We have just 1 car note that we're paying for, which is just an older Nissan vehicle that is our daily driver. That the car note goes for $136. So we only pay $136 towards the loan for the car. Okay. Next, we have our phone bills. Now, same thing as the last video. Unfortunately, we're on 2 different mobile plans. However, Matthew is in T-Mobile, is in Verizon, and I'm on T-Mobile. And so our phone plan comes up altogether to $180. He needs to figure out something to get on this plan when we get on one plan so we can be paying less. Well, right now, I'm using an old phone and my phone's paid off. I think his is, I'm not sure. Or he got his for, like, you know, that whole bundle package that they're always giving you. But our phone bill all comes up to $180 altogether. Okay. All right, next, gas. Gas for cars, both our cars. So both of us, before, I used to be the person that worked remote most of the time, so I didn't really get to drive to the office that much. However, now Matthew has to drive into the office every day, and I have to drive into the office most part of the week. So our gas price from the last last bill was about $200, honey. Now it's about $300 for gas for the both of us. So that's what we have. Yeah. So gas, $300. Actually, let me write it down. Okay. Gas, $300. Sorry, Williams. I have to take a pause and make sure I'm summing this. All right, next we have Netflix. Netflix has not changed. Netflix is $26. So if you have Netflix in your household or you're planning to have Netflix while you're living in the city or live in Arizona, $26 is our Netflix subscription. All right, groceries and food, we still have it budgeted at $500. We've kept it at that. We don't plan on changing it anytime soon till maybe something changes. So, groceries, $500, 26. Okay. Next, student loan, we have it at $100. I think it's like 90 some dollars, but you know, for the purpose of this, we just rounded it up. Student loan for Matthew is $100. Dude. They need to come and do something about those student loans. They need to come and forgive people for student loans because you need an educated population, don't you? Okay. Come help us out. Gee. All right, student loans, $100. We also have $100 expense set aside for Matthew's work, tools, and materials every month. Now, he doesn't buy work materials every single month, but we do put aside $100 every month for those expenses because when those expenses hit, they hit, honey. And sometimes they be over what we be setting aside, but as of right now, $100 for work materials for Matthew. Hopefully I have everything all summed up together properly. Next we have, what else do we have? I think that's about it, to be honest. That's like the monthly expenses that, you know, we have to pay bills for every single month. Yeah, we have to pay for gas, Netflix, groceries, loans, tools. So yeah, that's basically like the core expenses that it costs us living in Phoenix, Arizona, 2025 updated numbers. Now, we have personal things that we do every month. Obviously, those fluctuate every single month, so it's really hard to give you like a great estimate, but we obviously have, depending on your family, how you choose to save. You know, we have savings accounts, we have emergency fund account, which is different from the savings account. Emergency fund account is different from savings account. Sometimes some emergencies really be emergency and that you have to, you know, but we do save. We have savings that we have discretionary amounts that we've decided as a family makes sense for us to save. Now, it's not the same as your family. We're talking about monthly expenses. Savings are, you know, are savings. So depending on your family, what makes sense, just make sure, please make sure you're saving. If nobody tells you, make sure you're at least saving some money. It really helps. A rainy day, obviously life is unpredictable, things are unpredictable. So if you have a chance or opportunity to save, please save. I know a lot of people don't have opportunity to save as much as they would like, but you know, getting into the habit of saving some money helps. Now, we do have money that goes into investments. We have different types of investments, whether it's into you know, mutual funds, the stock market, retirement savings, health savings, things like that. We have that works for our family, that we contribute to that or, you know, put away for that every single month. Another thing is we have discretionary spending amount, which Matthew and I like to call fun money. This is just money that both of us spend unapologetically. We don't have to ask each other anything. He spends it on whatever he wants to spend it on. I spend my money however I want to spend it on. This is just fun money, you know. I spend my money how I want to spend it. He spends his money how he wants to spend it, and we don't ask questions. But so we call that fun money. We obviously plan for it. We allocate specific amount depending on, you know, sometimes things may change we have, actually, let me pause back a little bit. Zoop. Fun money is something we set every single month for both of us. However, there's some months that we have things coming up, our birthdays, trips, something that we want to do together, or we know that the other person has coming up that we will plan for, adjust the monthly budget and finances to you know, accommodate that. Another fund that we have is travel fund. We try to put money aside for us. We want to travel, we want to go places, whether it's together or separately, we're able to use funds in the travel fund to travel. We talk about it, we discuss all the plans we have for traveling, whether it's something that comes up last minute or something that is planned for way ahead of time. We do our best as much as we can to plan for it. So yeah, that's kind of like the gist of the whole thing. I don't know, I feel like, I hope I didn't like miss something in my calculation, but I feel like after everything, I've summed it all up. I think it all comes up to about $3,988. These are for bills, expenses, monthly expenses that are reoccurring, that, you know, happens month over month. However, obviously, depending on the month, there are a couple things that may happen. Lately, I have been dealing with some car issues, and we have had to handle that. So, you know, obviously, having savings accounts, emergency funds, and different types of, you know, funds preparing for the unknown or things that we hope doesn't happen that much. Whenever those things happen, we should try to hope that, you know, we've done our best to plan accordingly. Sometimes, obviously, we come short, some things don't work out, you know, some expenses feel so enormous that it, you know, there's no way you could have planned for it, but obviously you do what you can and learn from the mistakes that happen. So just to give a disclaimer, this video is speaking to me, my experience, my expenses, and I'm sharing to just give you an idea of what it costs living in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, living in Phoenix, Arizona, having 2 cars that, you know, we have to operate every single day. We're going to work, things like that. So just to give you an idea, obviously my previous video that I did spoke to living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. Now we're in a 2-bed, 2-bath apartment. I don't need y'all to come into my comment section giving me your unsolicited opinions, because this video is not to ask for that. It's just sharing. Do it as much as you can. I am just here, like I said in my last video, I am just here to give you guys information, data that will help you make informed decisions. So this will give you an idea of like, oh damn, if I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and Faith and Matthew's situation is very similar to mine, ooh, I might be spending this much money. Let me make sure that my job aligns to this if I want to do this, right? So not saying that there aren't apartments that are, you know, obviously our apartments list under $2,000, but obviously after all the expenses come together, it's more than that. So plan for it, plan accordingly, make sure you're ready. Don't live above your means, my friends. Don't live above your means, my friends. Make sure you're saving, make sure you do your due diligence, make sure you're taking care of your family and you're making decisions that will set you in the right path for success. I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any questions, any thoughts that you would like us to expatiate on or have more conversations in the comment section, make sure you leave it down in the comment section and I'll be sure to respond, comment as much as I can. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.